So what do you think about the current state of this team? Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
blame.
blame you, Pengu, because I don't want to talk about this game either. I don't want to talk about this game. I don't want to talk about this team because, quite frankly, can it get any worse than where the Heat are at right now? Like, is this worst case scenario? Because think about it. Let me lay it out for you. Last game, you got blown out at home by Joe Cronin's Portland Trailblazers. And then today, you got killed by Damian Lillard, who had a triple-double. And then on top of all of that, just to put the icing on the cake, today is the 1-year anniversary of the Terry Rozier trade. Terry Rozier had 4 points. 4 points today. And then on top of all of that, I'm freezing. It's 47 degrees outside. I live in South Florida. Why is it so cold outside? You know what else is cold? The Miami Heat. 23% three-point shooting. What the hell is wrong with them? Duncan Robinson, wide open. Brick. Terry Rozier, wide open. Step back. Brick. Kel'el Ware. I mean, he's been playing well, but he even gives you a couple air balls every game. Had 2 of them today. What is with that? One of his threes was an air ball. The other one smacked off the side of the backboard. Do y'all count that as an air ball? Like when those 3 smack the side of the backboard? I certainly do. But no, Kel'el Ware is a positive today. Although there was very, very few positives. But overall, unwatchable product. So if y'all are watching this video, y'all some real ones, man. I appreciate it. Leave a like and subscribe down below. But right now, the Heat, they're not a watchable product, right? Out of the last 12 games, I did a quick, look at the schedule right before I hit record. 9 of the last 12 games were basically blowouts. So, and you compare that to like last season and the season before, where damn near every game was a clutch game. Although the team was mid, it was an exciting product, at least when it came to late game. But right now, everything is a blowout. Now, mind you, a couple of those were actually wins. They did blow out Portland in Portland. They did blow out San Antonio at home, the game I was actually at. So how lucky am I? I do appreciate that, Miami Heat. But yeah, it's just a terrible, terrible product right now. Oh, God, I mean, I start taking notes during the game, and then I just give up because what's the point? I mean, we'll start from the beginning here. You got Pelle Larsson start. That was nice. Had 2 fouls in the first, what was it, like 80 seconds? And then he had to come out the game. Yeah, even though some of those weren't his fault, man. You had Damian Lillard flopping all over the place. Giannis flopping all over the place. One time, Bam's, maybe a hair on Bam's arm brushed against Giannis, and there's Giannis flopping backwards like that. Just those 2 guys, they're too good to flop. I hate that stuff. Anyways, of course, the Milwaukee Bucks today, they got off to a slow start. That was expected, right? Because you had that whole plane incident where they were stuck in New Orleans last night because of that snowstorm. And then that's why they weren't able to get into Milwaukee until later today, which is why the game was pushed back. It was actually pushed back an hour from 7:30 to 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And the Bucks literally went right from the airport to the arena. So you would expect them to come out a little bit rusty. And they did. The Heat actually took a 20-5 lead. And after that, it all went to crap. Like, it literally went to crap like that. The good parts of that first half, you had Tyler Hero. He's off to a decent start, 15 points, 5 assists. A lot of those were to Kel'el Ware. He was reading that pick and lob beautifully because Tyler Hero was getting great dribble penetration, and that's something that makes this Ware and Bam connection so effective because when Tyler drives, Kel'el Ware, he's so great at like moving without the ball, and that's what great players do. A lot of times, especially young guys, might not know where to be when the ball's not in their hands. That's not the case with Kel'el Ware. Like, I'm super impressed with his off-the-ball offensive IQ because he knows when to cut into the paint as to not clog the ball for his ball handler, but make himself basically a target to catch these lobs. And that's why he's now had 3 straight games over 20 points for Kel'el Ware. But obviously, Tyler Hero was doing a great job of finding him. And then once the defense started backing off of Tyler Hero to now guard the lob to Kel'el Ware, well, Tyler was able to finish into the paint. He even had a nice, tricky little like fake lob to Kel'el Ware, then finished with the left hand over Brook Lopez. So I really like what I saw from that duo of Tyler and Kel'el. And that will be one reason to keep watching Heat games going forward, or at least one reason to be excited. I'm going to watch the games because I'm a fan. I don't care how bad the product is. I sat through every game of 11 and 30 with Dion Waiters, and boy, did I enjoy that 30 and 11 with Okaro White. We'll shout out him. What y'all know about 13 and 0 Okaro White. But yeah, I'll watch every game because I'm a fan. But that Ware and Kel'el connection is something that definitely gets me excited to watch these games. Ware had a great first half, 13-6, and he really had a great game in total. He finished with 22 and 10 today. Wow, 9 of 15 from the field, hit a couple of threes as well. The Heat also had a lot of offensive rebounds in the first half, 9 of them, which is funny because after every one, Stan Van Gundy was saying, "Oh, this is a rare offensive rebound because the Bucks are so good at defensive rebounds," and just got really tiring. But anyways, yeah, that was the positives. That was literally it, because the Heat ended up being down 16 at the half, and that was a result of Giannis doing whatever he wanted, except making free throws. That boy had one of the ugliest air balls I've ever seen in my life. Seriously, 3 feet short of the rim. Bam caught the rebound. It hit the ball hit the ground once, and Bam just grabbed it out of the air and looked at the ref. It's not supposed to count as a rebound because a free throw has to hit the rim. This one did not. But the rest let it play on, so whatever. But Gary Trent Jr., he also lit you up, hit his first 5 threes of the game. And then you had literally the worst possible ending to the first half ever. Damian Lillard scored 6 points in 1.1 seconds to end the half because he basically shot a 3, got fouled by Duncan Robinson, even though that was a cheap call too. That was another time in which Dame flopped because Dame shot a 3. Duncan did a great contest running next to Dame, with his hand up. But on the way down from shooting, Dame grabbed Duncan Robinson's shoulder and then fell on the ground. Of course, he got the call, but I thought that was BS. But anyways, Dame hits all 3 free throws. The Heat turn it over on the inbounds pass, which I think is Terry Rozier's fault. Terry Rozier, this video has been, 6 minutes long? This is probably the second negative thing I'm saying about him. It's not enough because he continues to be terrible. But anyways, Kel'el Ware was kind of leaning to inbound the ball, and that's why he ended up turning it over. But Kel'el Ware was leaning in because he thought Terry was going to be there. Terry is the point guard. There's a second left. Go get the ball, Terry Rozier. Why are you not looking at the inbounder? And because of that, the Heat threw it out of bounds. Ball went right back to the Bucks with the inbound going under their own rim. And Dame catches a 3 in the corner and just fades, ridiculous fading left and cashes it. I think Terry Rozier didn't want to get that ball because he hates shooting those end of quarter, end of half shots because he doesn't like to ruin his already terrible 3-point percentage. So I think that's why he didn't want the ball, and it cost the Heat 3 points there. But my guy, is that... Some people are saying it's the worst trade in NBA history or in Heat history. I don't know if it can be that. I'd really have to sit down and think about it, but it's up there. Oh, how things would be different for this Heat team if they could have got Dame, not got Terry. Oh, God, who knows? It just pains me to think about. But yeah, and then the third quarter was still trash. The fourth quarter, they switched to True TV. And boy, is that fitting. Because the only thing they show on True TV nowadays is the Impractical Jokers. Great show. Love it. Very funny. But it's a bunch of jokers. And you know what the Miami Heat is? A big fat joke right now. So they switched to True TV to start the fourth quarter. Because True TV, I guess, was still in a timeout from the Lakers game that they were showing, they didn't actually broadcast the first 4 minutes of the Heat game in the fourth quarter. But it's literally that much of an unwatchable product that they did not show 4 minutes of it on national television. Ridiculous. But yeah, the fourth quarter was also trash. And then a very, very ironic moment to end the game where the Bucks brought in Tyler Smith, when both teams kind of cleared the benches for the last 2 minutes of the game. And the reason that's ironic is because y'all know the Heat's classic winning song that they post on their little Twitter video, their little Twitter videos at the end of every win. The winning, dun 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 dun. That song. Well, that song is actually called Awake. And it's by a guy named Tyler Smith. He made that instrumental / beat, whatever. And then at the end of the game, the Bucks brought in Tyler Smith, who their own Tyler Smith, not the guy who made the song. At least I don't think so. And he immediately hit 2 3. So I just thought that was ironic because the Heat signify their wins with a Tyler Smith, and now the Bucks got their own Tyler Smith. But let's get into the box score a little bit here. Duncan Robinson today, boy, he was a killer. Oh, he had been playing so well over the last 2 games, and they needed him today. That's the thing, I'm not super pessimistic because, yeah, the Heat got blown out, but I felt like they got good looks. It's just the 3-point, and they've been getting some good looks of late, but I just feel like the 3-point shooting has been so bad, and eventually it's got to turn itself around. That's what we saw in 2023. They were the worst 3-point shooting team by percentage in the regular season. It flipped the switch in the playoffs. You had Gabe, Caleb, Max. All of a sudden, they couldn't miss, and they went on a finals run. Now, I'm not saying that's obviously going to happen to this team with regards to a finals run, but they can't be this bad. they're shooting well under 30% from three almost every game. I just don't think that can continue to happen. I mean, Duncan is too good a shooter. Tyler, he's still been shooting efficient like he has all season. Today, Tyler Hero was not efficient, but just in general, he's been efficient. But I don't know. I mean, I guess Duncan's the only good shooter, but then who else they got? Terry Rozier, he can't shoot. Bam Adebayo, he's not a good shooter. Kel'el Ware, he can shoot, but he's not a good shooter. I guess they got like Hayward Highsmith, who doesn't even play a lot, but then Jaime Jaquez can't really shoot. So, Pelle Larson, his numbers aren't great from three-point shooting this year. So, yeah, I guess it makes sense why Alec Burks, sometimes he plays, sometimes he doesn't play. That's frustrating because there's our minimum guy, Alec Burks, barely even playing. And then the Bucks' minimum guy is Gary Trent Jr., and he's out there can't missing. Because, yeah, the Bucks did get Gary Trent Jr. on a minimum. And the Suns did get Tyus Jones on a minimum. And the Heat don't have any shooting. They don't have a point guard. They could have used those guys. But no, we got Alec Burks on a minimum. But I don't know. Point is, I guess the Heat really don't have a lot of good shooting. So maybe they will continue shooting this poor for the rest of the season. I don't really know. But yeah, Duncan was not great tonight. 4-13 from the field. Bam Adebayo, his fall off needs to be studied. 41% shooting today. He's continues his inefficiency, 11 points. So you got no Jimmy. Hey, Bam, you just signed an extension that's going to pay you $60 million in a couple of years. Maybe step up. No, he doesn't step up. Why would he? Why would he step up? Kel'el Ware, though, 22 and 10. Good efficiency. Great lob threat. Solid defense for the most part. You love to see it. Pelle Larson today, 13 minutes. His first start was not good. And then Tyler Hero, 21 points, 9 assists, and 1 turnover. So although he wasn't very efficient, only shot 6 of 19, you do love the 9 assists and 1 turnover. Obviously, they announced the All-Star starters today. Hero, of course, didn't make it. There's about a pool of 8 guards that could potentially make it for the reserve spot. I guess we'll go through them real quick because I saw Ira tweeted it earlier. So basically, there's 8 guards that have a chance to make that final spot. Only 4 of them can. So basically, 4 of these guys will make it. You got LaMelo, Cade, Darius Garland, Halliburton, Hero, Dame, Tyrese, and Trey. So it's going to be very tough for Tyler Hero to make it, especially if the Heat keep losing games like this. But in my opinion, it should go to Hero, Cade, Trey, or LaMelo. That would mean that Hero would make it over Dame, Maxey, Tyrese, and Garland, I guess. But you can certainly make a case for all those guys. But I don't know. I hope Tyler Hero makes it. I just think it'll be kind of a nice stamp on what has otherwise been a very depressing season. But we'll see what happens there. Off the bench today, literally nothing of significance. Hero and Jaquez had 8 apiece. Highsmith, 21 minutes, 3 points. Terry Rozier, 4 points. God forbid he shows some sort of offensive help. This team can't score. He scored 24 points tonight in Charlotte. You're supposed to be all shifty and scary, Terry, blah, 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 blah. And he sucks. That's what he does. 4 points. What a terrible trade. 4 freaking points. I don't know. I think that's really all I got to say about this video. Fortunately, the Heat have the Brooklyn Nets coming up on Saturday, and that team is god-awful right now. They basically sold off all their good pieces. They still got some more guys I guess they could sell off, like Cam Johnson. But that team's trying to lose right now, so I do think the Heat have a pretty golden opportunity to sort of bounce back, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. But let's give a shout out to our last to one of our super chats from last video. Shout out to Ivana Muse once again for the $10 dono. She said thank you for the vibes, Anthony. It basically said that she's been pro Jimmy, and especially since she likes his coffee. That's how I know you rich. 1, you're giving your hard-earned money to me, which is greatly appreciated. I do appreciate that. But 2, you're paying for that big face coffee. You dropping $20 for a cup of coffee? That's crazy. But anyways, I do appreciate the dono. And yeah, I got to come with the good vibes. And she goes on to say that Jimmy has been very disrespectful to his teammates, which I see that. How can you say your beef is not with the teammates? And then today, obviously, I didn't even mention this was the first game of Jimmy's new suspension. He'll miss this game and the Brooklyn game. But he was at some tennis match today in which he was the sponsor of. So it's you're suspended and you out there at a tennis match. That's just a bad look. I don't see how, if you're a young guy on this team, you're not mentally affected by that and being damn, that's kind of messed up. But I don't know. But yeah, I try to bring the positivity and energy when I can because it's the only way we're going to be able to get through the second half of this season. But anyways, that's all I got to say for this video. If y'all stay to this part of the video, you definitely a real fan, because if that game was terrible, I can't imagine why you'd want to watch the post game. Well, maybe it's because you like to vent and share your anger with me. And that's kind of why I love this community. So I do appreciate all of y'all, even though I joke about how depressing things are. Well, it's not even a joke, but y'all know what I mean. We can all come here and vent together. That's why we got such a beautiful community. But like the video, subscribe. If you did stay to this point of the video, go ahead and comment down below. Happy birthday, Thomas. That's Thomas without an H. Thomas. Comment happy birthday, Thomas. He'll know what you mean. I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.
Look, pull up in your city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.